The Muppets are adults.
No,
they have mortgage.
Oh, you like this thing? Let me become the mayor of it.
Yes.
Let me embody it.
Because it's like, what? Who was I trying to impress and why? Y'all don't even have taste.
No.
Muppets are puppets? Being dead serious? I was like...
Fangirl Central. I'm a sleep in the earrings for 3 weeks kind of person.
Like studs?
Yeah.
I can't sleep.
I've done crazier.
You slept in hoops?
I've had a dangly. I've definitely slept in hoops for a night.
Okay.
How do you?
I'm not an earring wearer
not
then.
well. I'm not saying that I've like mastered.
Do you wear contacts?
No.
Okay, because I've slept in my contacts and it ruined my life.
Yeah. See,
I've
so
heard
that's
that.
medical. Like, let me just strike the distinction. That one is different. Earrings are cosmetic.
I will say my ears get crazy though.
Yeah, that's true. That's
my
true.
piercings, now that I have 6, and Dani, get this, I got the first one in 4th grade and the next 4 in 2021 right after I got vaccinated.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, for some people, it's the breakup. For you, it was
The same
Moderna.
pandemic.
To be fair, it was also a breakup.
Oh,
There we go.
the truth comes out.
But also all 4,
Yeah.
same day, same time, progressively each one got worse.
Oh,
Don't believe what they say out there. Piercings
getting
are
them
worse
all.
than tattoos.
yes. No. Well, the thing for me and piercings is I have a cartilage up
Okay,
here
hot.
that I got when I was at summer camp, which is like the worst time to
So-
like.
So like
A
Parent
friend-
Trap.
yeah,
friend-
like,
okay.
No, I did go. We went on our off day.
Oh,
it was like
okay,
I worked
okay,
there.
okay.
It wasn't like I was.
Oh.
I was not a child.
Free range.
Can you imagine how fucking cool I'd be at my Christian camp when I was a kid?
If you
being
got
an
a cartilage
11-year-old piercing? No, just kidding. I'd be excommunicated. I was a counselor. Anyway.
I really was picturing you at 10. Like I was
Yeah.
like, that's really cool.
No, that's metal.
That's
that would be
so
so cool.
cool.
I was not that cool as a kid, but I got my cartilage pierced, then I got my nose pierced, and then I got a big, massive keloid. And I went to. It was actually a huge fight because I went to the dermatologist after trying to like naturally like put tea tree oil on it till it went away. And I went to the doctor, and it was this weird moment where she was like, "You may look white, but your skin is." Technically more like your mother's in this way that you get keloids as hell. And so she was like, you can never again get tattoos or piercings. And I was literally like, that's just not gonna happen.
That's not fair.
That's not gonna happen. And so I left. She said, I will give you a steroid shot, but you have to take you can't have a nose ring anymore. You have to take it out. And I said, no. I literally said no. I left with my witch bump and I was like, I'm gonna take care of this. A month later, obviously I didn't take care of this. More tea tree oil, didn't work. And then I came back in like head held low and I was just like, fuck, I guess like try it. And then she goes, I'm gonna try something. Let me talk to my colleagues. She comes back in. She just gives me the steroid the shot anyway, just with my nose ring in, because can.
Yeah.
You can do
You
that.
absolutely. It's like. It's
Did
a
she
bump
put it in the bump?
Yeah, she just fucking shot the bump, and then in like 3 days it went away, and it went away forever, and I've still had this nose ring, and it's a big part of my personality.
That's amazing.
Do you have tattoos?
I don't have any yet because she's terrified me.
Okay.
Well, what?
One of my friends had a keloid from a nose ring, and she had to get her I think it was like her grandpa to take some pliers and snap it out because
You have to.
it got stuck.
Girl,
It's literally no.
The ring.
The ring
not
got
the
stuck.
like
The ring,
the
not the- I
keloid.
thought you were saying
I
the
thought you were saying he
keloid.
had to like. Oh, I was literally like, he cracked her skin open. And
You know what I'm thinking? Keloids are literally like the human real equivalent of like a hydra. Like you try to fucking
Oh,
And, like,
off
7
and
grow
more
back.
grows back. So I thought you were saying that he like snapped it at just the right area and it like went away. How did her keloid go away?
She the tea tree oil. That's why I was like, oh, this sounds all
the
too
tea tree oil didn't.
familiar.
I literally had to go to the dermatologist and say, "Give me chemical."
Dude,
Oh.
if you just, I'm such a rule
I wonder
follower.
if
Like,
a steroid would have worked for her.
if you just follow what they tell you to do to take care of a tattoo, like to the T, I'm not even kidding. Like I had the bandage on for
Yeah.
like 1.5 weeks, and people were like, you know, you can take that off, and I was like, they didn't say
They
that.
didn't say
Yeah.
that. Actually, they didn't say that.
Actually, they didn't say that.
That's
so
not what they said. That's so funny.
Meanwhile, people be hopping in oceans as soon as they get tattoos.
No,
I'm like, that's
silly.
not me. I can't. And they were like, and no alcohol, and like, but the night before, and like, you can't. And I'm like, because it'll you need to the healing process. And when I was getting it, I was like, and so I can't drink for like a week, right? And my lesbian tattoo artist was like
drinking at the time.
she was like, no, where did you hear that? Like, you can drink tonight. And I was like, oh, okay.
Celebrate your new tattoo.
You have to celebrate your
I immediately did.
I will be getting a tattoo, but
do you have any ideas?
Yeah. I have an idea, and it's so intense that's probably more the reason I haven't gotten it yet is because it's just like so elaborate. And unfortunately, it's gonna feel like this was all planned, but it is Muppet related. But the song that the Muppets are famous for is Rainbow Connection, right? And the like thing that they say that is like, someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. And it's supposed to be like, oh, like some people say like you can't like, you know, don't daydream or whatever. Just like I think like it all can coexist. So anyway, this is the plan. Under boob.
Yes,
perfect.
We're immediately starting really intense.
Yes.
Under boob, we want rainbow. But it stops here and it forms half a heart.
Okay.
Interlocking on the other part of the heart is the other half of the rainbow that then goes and fades down my side. So that's the rainbow, connection. Okay.
Yes.
And it's connecting in a heart. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Everyone's seeing this?
Yeah, I see
at
that.
home? And then the crazy thing is the lovers, the dreamers in me. So at my arm, where it hits my side, will be a cloud with a daisy inside, because a daisy is my flower.
Oh,
Amanda knows she was
there's
just in my
daisies
car.
all over her car.
All over my car. So anyway, so somebody will find it. The rainbow connection, the lovers, the heart, the dreamers, the cloud, me.
Oh,
and me,
Danny, that'll be beautiful.
It'll be beautiful.
Oh.
And I have 1,000 like reasons why I like haven't gotten it yet. Chief of which is ouch. Ouchie pain, ouch.
You have to do it like one at like one.
Yeah,
at a
but I
time.
just need to get the cloud and the daisy. But it really is the woman's like words in my head of just like, you can never get a tattoo, or otherwise it's gonna keloid over.
That's traumatizing.
Nothing
That
can
is.
be as bad as a keloid in your nose.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Yeah,
Ooh,
no, it's
my.
true. That was
You're a
like
survivor.
that was like anyone could tell me, no, you look beautiful, and I'm like, you actually are fucking with me right now. I feel like
my
the
God.
Witch of the West.
That's
like,
how I one time I had strep, and like I literally don't get strep. We were talking about this. Like every time it was like a nasal like tonsil thing, it was never strep. The one time I had strep, I took penicillin and it seemed like I was getting worse. Like the strep was getting worse. I was like, I guess that's just life. And then I woke up at my mom's house with Amber. Our mom was at work. I woke up to Amber 1 inch from my face, looking like this.
oh my God.
her head, I mean, her face was like swollen. Like I thought I was delusional. Like I literally thought I was hallucinating. I woke up because it was when we were sharing a room. And I was like, I woke up and I just started crawling to the end of my bed because Amanda's like bed was like, it was like an L shape.
Facing, yeah.
And I was like, girl,
Hell?
I woke up, I was
something's
like, Amber,
wrong with your face.
I was like, Amber, what the fuck? Get off of me. And she was like, I think we need to go to the doctor. I was like, you're just playing with me.
No, and
And then
you
I
really
opened
had,
my
like,
phone and I was like,
You had
Amanda-
a 90s kids movie moment. Where
she
you
did
went,
look like a
"Whoa, whoa,
Muppet.
whoa, whoa."
and then I had to drive. I drove us to the doctor. I was like, why didn't Amber drive us?
Oh, yeah.
I drove myself.
Puffy face.
And then they were, our mother was she was like, get her to the doctor immediately. And I was like, I just wanted to watch movies all day. Like, guys, like, I don't want to go to the doctor. It's not that big of a deal. And
Girl,
they
your
gave me a steroid.
face.
yeah,
But it's like,
they love to give a steroid.
it's fine. It's fine. I felt like Raven in that one episode.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I was like trying to think. I'm like, what am I thinking of? Because somehow it is a trope of kids shows. It's just like you
Of, like,
wake
have a
up and you're
swollen face.
like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Raven, that was really funny when it happened to Raven. I
It
was
was.
scared for her though. I was like,
Makeup department.
Her hands.
she was like,
made something
and
iconic.
Her
She couldn't
scream, like her
breathe.
vocals.
Oh, yeah.
She would kill in the LA City clown scene.
She honestly
is a
would
clown.
dominate it.
Yeah.
She is a clown.
She's a clown.
When I took my first clown class, I was like, oh, so what Raven Baxter does.
Oh, so it's Raven Baxter. Yeah, actually, you should have said that.
that. And then I would have been able to understand.
Yeah. With all the white men.
yeah.
Oh, so you guys are just Raven Baxter.
Yeah.
You
guys,
guys get
think of Raven Baxter. They all go, oh my
Oh,
Of
my
course.
God.
Of course. Wait, now, Danny,
you
you have clowned before. You've taken a clown class.
I've clowned.
Don't you think clowning is so similar to like puppets?
Yes. I think that clowning is like human puppet town. And I think that like, well, first of all, I'm like, not someone who really was like accepting of the fact that clown was a whole different thing than like improv and characters. I think I was just like me completely denying that it's like an ancient art that like has been around for hundreds of years.
No, I think
I didn't know it was a term when I
think
first
it's a
heard
debate.
it.
I think there are people that think it literally is Clown Town. Like, what do you
Red
mean?
nose,
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who do know what it is, and they're like, I don't think it's a legitimate form of art because I hate it. And that's a valid.
Literally.
Okay, I've been to clown shows where I just feel like I'm literally trapped.
Oh yeah,
same.
Like,
I've been to
and I
one.
can't leave. But it's also like it helped me get out of my head. I'm so in my head and not in my body in a way where it's like I am so clumsy.
Yeah.
Like no hand-eye coordination. If you ask me to put together like a bookshelf, I'm gonna cry.
Sorry.
Like I'm not in my not in my body. It literally happened.
Evidence.
As if I'm just like scripting this, but like clowning got me there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
You know?
because
like
it's like kind of a skill because you could say the same for improv. Like some people are like, I could never just go to an improv show, but it's good to just be able to do improv really well. Like if you can,
it's a skill.
Like Dani, it is a skill. It's really good.
Yeah,
It's very useful.
I think that clown is like so good because I don't know if you guys are the same. I'm like actually like a very like I want the plan. I want the
Me
plan
too.
written down. Like yes, when I'm in really feeling comfortable, like things can fire on all cylinders. But like all my friends are like, oh, I wish this was an improv show. That way we wouldn't have to be stressed. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
I'm gonna shit my pants if this is an improv show.
I need structure.
I need structure. I need to know what I'm doing. And
That's
so,
how I am.
like, I did
That's how
like,
I am too.
Yeah, I did like the part about clown where it's like you're supposed to fail because I like failure is like a big thing that I'm like always trying to like do. So
maybe I should do a
I'm
clowning
like
class.
always.
We
trying to
did
be
one.
better at
I know we
failure.
did one, but I feel like I could do another one for the same reason.
I want to take a clowning
don't wanna
class
be
from a
failing.
black woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like, and there's like Cameron
Cameron,
Farmer, teach
yeah.
me. It's not a black woman, but a black
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
and like teach me how
Yeah.
to clown in the way that I like. I love Cameron Farmer shows.
Yeah.
I
Oh
never.
my
I literally
God.
like
I'm
never
laughing my butt
ever
off.
Always.
feel and Kristen
Yeah.
Wallace and Cameron Farmer are like two of the funniest people I ever seen in my life. One time I went to a Cameron Farmer show and they kissed me on the lips, and I was like, this is like something that I've never experienced. Not I this is my first kiss.
Right here. Right here. Amanda has never kissed. Amanda just thinks clowning is getting
It's
kissed.
just getting kissed.
She's like, I really
love
more
clowning.
passionate into this.
And like, have y'all seen this? Like,
Have you heard of
it's happening.
clowning?
You can go to a show and get kissed. Because I'm such a rule follower and like
Yeah.
such a like kind of like stickler
Yeah.
in some ways. I can
Yeah.
be so in my head and not in my body. And so when they came up to me and like obviously like, can I kiss you? And I was like, yeah. Sure.
Loosen
and I
up.
was like, I'm having the time of my life, and that was not the only reason.
Yeah.
I have a crush on Cameron Farmer.
Yeah, it's literally what I love about
What I love
comedy
about
is that
comedy is
they're
that
a beautiful
Cameron Farmer's
person,
there.
and I look into their brown eyes, and it's just like I'm home. That's what I love about
Oh my
clown.
god. No, if you're in LA, go see a Cameron Farmer show.
I wonder if Cameron's gonna listen to this.
I know. I'm like, or we should just tell them.
just DM.
But I was just like, it's so freeing. It's like so like, oh, like spontaneity and like the people I was in clown classes with. I was like,
Look,
you've got something. Like
Yeah.
you're making me laugh. You're making me
Yeah.
feel. You're making me electric.
yeah.
But it's not to say that I would like to go to clown shows like all the time,
No.
every
Yeah.
day.
It makes me wish that I wasn't like I didn't have the amount of stage fright that I do. You know, like I can get on stage, but I have stage fright.
Yeah.
But I'm like, when I see the people getting up there and acting foolish, I'm like, see, I could do that.
And you could do that. Unfortunately, you guys are going to enable corporate clown classes and corporate clown workshops. I'm fearing it. I think that's where that's only because like the thing about improv that's so funny is like people tell you that you should do it because it like gets you better at skills for like doing whatever and saying like knowing to think on your feet. But like you go to a fucking UCB improv class. Mama, that's nothing but structure. They are just like, you did it wrong. Love UCB. Put me on your team. But clown is literally like, oh, you look like you have a plan. Shut the hell up. Try it again.
Yeah.
Insanity.
That's probably why I do like puppetry, because
Yeah.
it feels like the craziness and silliness and like looseness, but planned,
Yeah.
written, like
It's so crazy how I think for puppets, like, always been just a big Muppet fan. And that has always just been, and that's kind of what my definition of puppets has been for most of my
Me
life.
too. No, I
It's
feel like everybody our
Sesame
generation.
Street,
Yeah.
Well,
Muppets.
I want to say that
Say
it took
it.
me a long time. Now, I don't want to say like too long, but like it took me a while to be like, Muppets.
Yeah, hold my hand when you say this, just so I know that we're still together.
I was like, girl, hold on.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
So.
Yeah, everyone be here. Everyone be here.
So, Muppets are puppets? Being dead serious, I was like, oh, I guess they are classified as puppets, and that's why they're called Muppets. because as a child, you know, puppets are.
You thought they were guys?
Puppets are that box and socks. You know, the box
sock puppets,
and just like you just see the arm clearly in the socks, and then I didn't think about marionettes.
It's too
Pinocchio
professional to you,
right?
They did the job too damn well.
There was too much production. I was like, no, this isn't a puppet because you have the sticks and you have the
we treat, but we also we treat the Muppets like celebrities. Like Miss Piggy and Kermit got literally divorced, and they've been celebrities. They've been like SNL level celebrities since the 70s.
I mean, that's the thing about what's great is like, and I've watched a lot of like whenever I get high, I'm just like more Muppets, and like they literally the thing that made them so popular, especially was like Miss Piggy became a personality.
Yes,
she literally was like in like ads with other like supermodels with other things, just because everyone was like Miss fucking Piggy.
And you said that bitch. You said other supermodels. Note that you said other supermodels.
And unfortunately, she's a real woman.
Oh my god! No, Miss Piggy is a supermodel.
No, Miss Piggy is an icon. She's an icon, and she can't be problematic. As problematic as she is, but she can't be problematic because she's Miss Piggy.
She's like, you know what you got into.
You know, right? She's like if Wendy Williams didn't cause like real damage.
Yeah. No, truly.
Like she's iconic. We love her. She's stunning. She looks good in multiple hair colors. By the way, I was
she knows
later, but she looks so good with black hair in the Muppets Wizard of Oz.
It's like crazy how they make her so hot. Like I really don't understand.
I don't get it.
But there is in the Muppets Wizard of Oz, like there just are like this is really gonna sound weird, but like I watched it as a child and I remember thinking of that character and like the like whatever Italian mobster husband, and I remember being a kid and being like, what a hot couple. Right. Like literally being like, God, one day.
Okay. No, you're right. Okay. No, you're literally right. They're so hot as a couple. No, and I was gonna say, I was like, Miss Piggy looks hot with her black hair, and I changed it. I scratched it out. I said great because I was like, don't sexualize the Muppet. But it's like
you're supposed to sexualize Miss Piggy. Like
Miss Piggy would love to be sexualized.
The Muppets are so sexy.
Well.
That band. Yeah. I'm sorry, the band members, everyone in that band.
I was about to say something unhinged. Okay, I don't think he's sexy. I just when you said the band, I immediately wanted to mention Animal. And give him his props.
Yeah. Just give him his props.
Animal was one of my favorite. I don't know why. I think it's because he went crazy. I was like, I really admire that.
Yeah, Miss Piggy is also an icon because she's very like. She's very upright with like what she wants on her call list. Or what is it? What's it?
No, it's the
Oh,
the
your
writer. The
writer.
Like she's like, I need this, and this. Even in the Muppets and in Muppets Wizard of Oz, when we were watching it the other day, I was like, I bet you she was like, I'm gonna play all 4 witches or else I'm not gonna be in it.
Literally. That's what she said in the writer's room.
She said, "Okay, write me in."
Oh my god!
Like, I was like, "Why did they kill Miss? They kill Miss Piggy right away. This is her first appearance." And then Amber was like, "No, she's the other 4.
She's the other fucking 4.
Like she's literally all of them."
It's like, and she did a great job.
You know what's so cool is it's just like Monty Python in the way that it's like it's like the core 5 British whatever guys, but they will be they'll be back.
Yeah,
they're gonna play 5 people, and that's like they treat. Because the Muppets do other shows and parody other shows, it's their cast. And like, every cast has their own take on every character, but they're still Miss Piggy. And it's so...
It's like that's what I really like it because when I was like... I didn't have that much knowledge of the Muppets. Like, I didn't really realize that they were Hollywood stars. Like, I did, but I didn't really realize how much they played into it in the movies.
That's why every movie they make is meta.
Yes, like so meta.
If any real person made the amount of, like, self-referential jokes about themselves, you'd be like, bitch, get over yourself. Yeah. But it's the Muppets. Yeah. And I'm like, Kermit, don't give up.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's also, like, following celebrity culture.
Yes. But it's mirroring it.
But it's just, like, I don't know, it's, like, fun to follow Muppets drama.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
But it's like it's in the real world in a way that I'm like
Kermit and Miss Piggy's
this is realistic drama. I don't know who's producing the Muppets real
lore,
PR,
the storyline.
Like Muppet. Who does the PR for the Muppets? Who crafts the Muppets?
Now it's changed,
story.
Right? Because it's Disney. But what's interesting is like in the podcast they talk about when they figured out like all the characters, they knew really early that the first Muppet show wasn't going to be like a bunch of sketches in world. It was going to be a show about putting on a show. Like from the beginning, it's been like parody of show business too, and like the silly people like putting on the shows. And I think that that's so funny because they can be anything, but at the end of the day, they are like fucking stars. Like they just are stars. They're actors.
And everybody, the entire world knows them.
Yeah,
like
we all know Kermit is a star.
We know Fozzie Bear.
And when they show up in the different adaptations, I scream. Like I screamed when Fozzie showed up in Christmas Carol.
Oh my God.
Fozzie wig. I was like. Because I think he's one of my favorite. I don't know why he's like always been one of my favorite. I think he's like adorable. I think he's hilarious.
It's because he goes nothing funnier than somebody wanting you to laugh and you not like knowing if you actually want to laugh. Like there's truly nothing cuter than that. And that's clown. My most embarrassing thing is that, and this is so embarrassing, so I'm doing that like, do you say it? And I'm like gonna say it.
Let it out.
But like I was hooking up with someone while Muppets was in the background, and then I do remember we paused and listened, and then we were just like, that's clown. And then kept going. And unfortunately, like that's like not even the most comedy nerd during coitus, I think, moment I've had, but that was definitely a standout one where I was just like, hate myself a little bit, but there actually could be no more.
You know what? No, I connection.
I really like that.
I think that I hope you have that one day.
I do too, honestly, because I've only watched a whale documentary while hooking up with someone.
Yeah, you need to up the ante on the more interesting things you can have sex to.
Let's talk about it.
The Muppets, people would say like, "Oh, what? You're gonna fuck to a kids show?" And it's like, you think Muppets are for kids,
if you think the Muppets are kids,
yeah,
the Muppets are adults.
No, they have mortgage.
I literally think that's why, and like somebody out there is just like, you should know, but I don't know. But I feel like that's why they made Sesame Street, because every kid wants to watch the Muppets and like have it be a kids show, and they were like, too bad. Bitch, we're not making it for kids. We're gonna keep sexually, like, making sexual innuendos.
They are
this
so
shrimp
adult.
that's problematic wants to fuck everyone, and that shrimp is problematic.
That shrimp is problematic.
That shrimp is problematic. And I don't even want to get into it because that shrimp is a problem.
Oh, but okay, I just recently realized that Kermit is problematic towards Piggy.
You recently?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, my Muppet lore is not
There's a
extensive.
lot of Kermit stuff as well.
Kermit?
Yeah.
No, Amber, have you ever watched the original Muppet Show from the 70s?
I don't think so.
Okay, it's literally like SNL. They literally they have a new
that's
host.
what I was picking up from the movie.
They have a new host.
What I was picking up.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yeah. I was like,
right.
okay, I'm seeing what this world is.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to me.
I fucking love
I'm in it.
You're like me when I used to be taking a test in high school, and I'd be taking the test. I'm like, I'm actually learning about the subject material as I'm taking it.
Oh, okay.
It's not
That's what y'all
not
were
gonna
talking
help
about.
me on this, but
I'll
good
know
to
it for the future.
That's how I feel when I watch documentaries. I'm like, hey, I'm actually learning something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a documentary. Like,
I love enrichment.
Yeah.
It's just that they traumatize me with like memorizing stuff in school so much and like having to get straight A's that I'm like, learning, that's a trigger word for me.
You were saying SNL.
It's like SNL, but with different hosts and stuff, because it's all on Disney Plus now.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they put them on Disney Plus, and also me and my college roommate, and we were roommates for like almost 10 years, so we watched a lot of stuff together, and she's a puppeteer.
Right,
and while she was getting into SD, she's been on the show. While she was getting into puppets, like I watched her realize that puppetry was a career.
Yeah.
And like, because it all started with the Muppets. She was
my
watching
God,
one of the, I think she watched the Muppets movie from 2011.
Yeah.
I came home from wherever I was and she was watching the Muppets. And then the next day she was like, I don't know a lot about the Muppets. I think I'm going to watch every single thing they've ever been in.
Oh my gosh.
And so I watched a lot of Muppet stuff with her
important.
and like a lot of the like Muppet Show. And and then she was like, hey, I think I'm going to be a puppeteer. And now she works at Bob Baker.
Literally.
But
I
the
love watching
Muppets
someone
are
fall
a
into a
big
rabbit hole.
SNL of puppet.
The Muppets are a big deal. Like they're a big deal, and they like change people's lives in the way that like even in the microwave like or macro way of like I can do puppetry and make money from it and have joy and like in a way where it's like so meta and making fun of what because like we all love making art hopefully in this industry, but it's like we love making art, but the industry sucks, and so to be able to make art about that, even though you love the industry so much because it makes you be able to make this art, like it's so I think that's so cool of the Muppets.
It really just at the end of the day is a parody satire, but like hopeful kind of like collective, and like that's what's also cool about like the Muppets is it takes out the hubris of celebrity because the puppets are the celebrities.
Yes.
And like that has been true of every puppet ever, is like not to get like, it's not that it's communist, but in so many ways it is very cooperative. It is very like not making it about like Kermit can't spin off and do a just Kermit thing or whatever. And if you can't take the same person. And they just like get off on doing all of these parodies of other things you love, and they're both like kind to it, but also just like so satirical and like biting and
ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I just think that like I actually have a group of friends, or a couple of them were friends of mine from college, and now they've started a puppet collective called Freak Nature Puppets. Shout out Freak Nature.
Shout out Freak Nature. I'm gonna go look it up.
No, you gotta look them up.
I
check
haven't
it
seen them,
out.
but I've been like recommended them so many times.
Oh, and as you should be, because it's like, in my opinion, it's like Gen Z or new millennial Muppets, because it's like a bunch of people coming together and doing a big show that's like always like a little bit hopeful and fun, but also like really raunchy, more so than you'd think. Like puppets are inherently like look like dolls, look like toys.
So you'd think they were for kids.
My favorite thing, I don't know, this is like just so random, but my favorite thing is when the Muppets scrouch up their mouth.
Oh yeah.
Like that, I will laugh every single time they turn
Kermit's
to the camera
face
and they're
when
like,
he,
And also how iconic the way that the Muppets move, and like how when you are a puppeteer, you have to learn how the Muppets move specifically. But it's also like, as like an artist, cool that there's like, they're like a huge artist collective. The Muppets are just like a huge like comedy, acting, writing, producing, because they're making these movies.
they have offices, like Kermit has an office.
And in the original Muppets movie, they're all trying to put on a show together. It's not like it's not the Kermit movie. It's not the Miss Piggy movie, but it is the Miss Piggy movie.
Honey, Miss Piggy's demanding.
But we all want it to be the we want Miss Piggy to be as as in the movie as she is.
We're like, we see why you're obsessed with yourself.
Kermit
girl.
never tries to get all the way to the end without Miss Piggy. Like he always for a second is like, oh no, and then they're like, we need her. And he goes, okay.
You need Piggy.
Oh,
get Piggy. But
wait,
it's like
I
they're
wish
all having
I knew
fun.
all this when I watched the 2011 movie, because now everything we're saying, I'm like, I do need to go rewatch
that.
it.
Made me want to learn more about the Muppets. That movie,
because they fly to, or they map over to Paris, which is hilarious. And we'll take the map
Oh my
and
God.
they come onto the beach. I was like, this is stupid. I love it. But she has an office and she's like, she's not taking any appointments. And then they do the Muppet Man. They're just recounting the whole movie. And then she's like, oh, I can't believe I fell for the Muppet Man. Because they're her friends. I was like, this is.
Oh my God, and there's lore.
There's so much history here.
It's so fucking
And Kermit was like, we need you to come back. And she was like, I came back for them. And they're out the door. Like, she came back for Kermit.
They kind of tried to do this with Barbie. Like, I feel like they could be meta with a lot of different things, but the Muppets really get it. But like they make those bloopers for the Barbie movies, and it'd be like, this isn't bloopers, like it's animated.
There was a team that was like, are we the bloopers team? And we have to design
we have to try
them
and make
making mistakes. I love it.
Oh Lord.
Barbie is an actress. Like it's Barbie as an actress. She's playing Rapunzel. She's playing whoever. Like and the Muppets, it just like baffles me, because I remember when Miss Piggy and Kermit got divorced. I was in high school and I was like, why is this hitting me so hard? Like I was like,
everyone remembers
why does this affect me more than like human celebrity?
That was a big
divorces,
because it's lore. Like it's lore that lasts years, and that's just
decades.
Yeah, the 70s.
And it's like we don't want to. It's like it might be even. I think it's 60s that they were like coming together.
Oh, like with Frank Oz. Like the original. Oh, yeah.
But I could be wrong as hell and get killed tomorrow.
That makes sense, because the Muppet Show came out in the 70s.
Yeah.
So,
but like
that's right.
Anything that has really long old lore, like Disney owns the Muppets now, and I think the spirit of the Muppets being like, fuck the man is like a little bit in danger.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Somebody gotta save them.
It definitely is with Disney. But that's funny, because that's the whole premise of the movie.
Yes.
They were like, oh no, they're going to buy the...
Damn.
What's it called? The studio.
Henson Studios. Also, like, I would be so starstruck if I met any of the Muppets.
Oh my God, of course.
That's insane.
It
makes so much sense, but that's just insane to say.
I would be starstruck if I met anybody on Sesame Street. Like, if I saw Big Bird, I think I would cry.
Honestly.
Oh, yeah. I applied to be the intern of Sesame Street like 3 or 4 times, never got it.
Oh my goodness.
And I was just like, and I imagined it was Big Bird every time being like, no.
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 Next year. Try again. Wait, you had a good question about the Muppets.
So
act like Amanda just said it.
So
Okay,
I
Amanda,
had
I'll
a
say
lot of respect for Michael Caine in A Christmas Carol because I just thought he was just like giving such gravitas. Like he was so serious.
Yeah,
he was dropped in and everyone else
crying.
was making fun of him the whole time. Like
my God.
the rat Greek chorus.
Yeah.
Like it was just perfect. And I want to know in your opinion, what movies should the Muppets remake?
Oh my God.
With
wait.
the one protagonist who's
What a
human.
goddamn beautiful, perfect, amazing, show-stopping question. I, first of all, like, just really think that Michael Caine makes that movie because he's serious as a heart attack. And I'm not alone.
No, and also all the Muppets are doing British accents. Like,
oh my God.
they're American.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like, oh, the Muppets,
Miss
their
Piggy's-
British accents are all right.
Miss Piggy's going off on Scrooge. She says something at the dinner table. She's like, if he were here,
Yeah.
I would call him a raggedy, old,
Yeah.
heartless. I was like,
Yeah,
go, bitch, go.
She don't give a damn.
She has fought a lot of people.
And thank God.
Yeah.
And fight more.
She
Icon.
goes crazy.
And Tiny Tim's adorable. Okay.
Oh my goodness, little Kermit's little nephew. He was so cute.
I know, literally so fucking
So
cute.
cute.
So tiny.
I'm like trying to think about like what movie is like big enough in scale because like I think Wizard of Oz is one of the best remakes they've done. They did a Haunted Mansion remake that was like no offense.
Yeah. They did
It was funny, but it wasn't
seen
that
it.
funny. I saw it and it was like fine. Love you guys. But I feel like they would. I mean, unfortunately, the only thing in my head right now is Dune, and I'm like, oh, wait, no, not Dune.
Who would play who?
I've only just seen the first Dune, so I
haven't seen it yet.
But
I need
just
to rewatch it because I haven't seen the second
yeah.
yet.
But I'm like, I just think they should definitely and absolutely do an epic, like something so big would be. Or actually, can I take it and change it a little bit?
Yeah.
What?
I maybe would want to see like not like some sort of rom-com.
Oh my God.
I have
would
an idea.
love to
When
see.
Harry Met Sally.
Oh my God.
Yeah, actually, it's definitely going to be When Harry
When
Met
Harry
Sally.
Met Sally. Okay, I have a question about an idea.
Yeah.
What do you think of Muppets in Mamma Mia?
I was about to say
that-
Mamma Mia. I was
oh
about to
my
bring up
God.
Mamma Mia.
Because the
That's
three
so
dads.
good. Yeah. Oh,
and-
the three dads.
And the girl is the human.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, which one do you think is the okay? No. Miss Piggy is definitely mom.
Yes, Donna.
Donna.
Yes.
Could Amanda Seyfried could be
Sophie again.
Sophie
She
again,
could be
but
Sophie.
but let's recast her.
Okay.
I think it's time. I'm gonna say
Who's young?
Who's young? Sorry, I'd hate to be Hollywood. Hate to be the studio exec saying, but
Who's young and fresh?
like, and who's
young
gonna
and who
play
can
it?
Sing.
Who's gonna sing and like not take this like a joke? Because
Well, Renee Rapp.
she wouldn't take it like a. I
just don't think
know.
she's Sophie.
No, she's just not.
I know,
Sophie.
she's just blonde.
She
And that's
It
okay.
doesn't have to be a white woman.
and that's really true.
So-
we stand up.
Yeah, so
and
Wow.
and then we all sing
What if she was? dare I
Young
say,
and 17.
Who? No, I was just kidding. What if she was from Greece?
Yeah, she could literally be a
No,
Greece
no,
person.
unheard
I
of.
don't know.
A Greece person.
I don't know. Is she supposed to? I feel like they're American. I don't understand Donna's backstory. And Mamma Mia, here we
You
go
were never
again,
supposed to.
didn't make it clearer.
They studied abroad.
And they just ended
then
up
stayed
there. And
there.
then she got knocked up.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, that's too crazy for me
Her
to believe.
mother
Like, it's too convoluted.
Was a strict
That's
Catholic
okay.
woman. But then also Cher.
no, that's okay. No, take my hand. That's okay.
That's fine.
I know Io can't. I don't know if Io.
Can she sing?
Io can sing.
Io can sing.
Io can
It's
sing?
over. It's done.
She used to post like covers with a friend online, and I've heard her sing, and I was like, "This is beautiful." I mean,
Io.
it's very like
Yeah.
singer songwriter girl. So I don't know if she can belt, but it's like, does Sophie belt?
yeah.
No, she's
No,
not.
she's head voice.
She's just
head
like-
voice. She's head voice.
Yeah, Io
Yeah.
has that.
Okay, that could be huge.
That could be something.
I know she could become a Muppet herself, but you know, this is kind of a challenge. No, because not like she gets turned into a Muppet, but like she could match their energy because she's so wild. But I would love to see her Michael Caine it.
Which
is a verb.
Be so serious.
Be so serious.
We know that she could do it. She does it in The Bear.
She's in The Bear.
Yeah.
She does it in
The most serious comedy there's ever been.
I think
I feel like it would be a challenge for her. I feel like she would hate to not be able to be a Muppet.
No, I know. It really would be a challenge.
Like Dani, wouldn't it be hard for you to not be a Muppet?
Absolutely.
I think it's so interesting though. In Wizard of Oz, Ashanti, you could just tell that she was a little uncomfortable with her spatial awareness.
Thank you for saying that, because I was like, I love this movie, and I actually have a weird relationship with like saying any critique of things I love.
That's
but, like,
true.
Ashanti was not sure what
she
was
didn't
going
know
on.
where to look.
She did not know where to look. She was not sure if we were about to rap. I think they I think they pressed and then she literally came alive in the Jeffrey Tambor scene, or like whatever.
Because she was talking to humans.
Exactly.
To look at. We love the girl, but she did not know where to look.
No, and she was just very tight bodied.
Tight bodied.
Yeah, she didn't want to like knock one out.
No,
which I understand. That's probably how I would be too.
It happened probably day one. She fucking stomped on someone's head, and then was just like, you know what? Let me rein it in.
Let me be still.
Let me be still.
Let me be very still.
That is a movie.
Okay, I don't understand why first she turned into Kelly Osbourne.
Oh my God.
That was
second
insane. I was not ready for that.
Second, Ashanti, the singer, exists in this world. They were like, we
so
need you to
funny.
be more Ashanti vibes. And I said, I literally wrote as a note, Ashanti.
Wait,
they are
too.
addicted to being meta.
Yes.
The Muppets
so
wish they could take one moment and not like reference their own referential ref, and then we're in a loop forever. But that was so funny, because I love when people make a reference to something they think will be topical or like prevalent enough, forever. So like Kelly Osbourne as a choice is so crazy to us, because we're like, truly, we just know her from
that clip,
the awful clip.
Oh my God, I can hear it in my
yeah.
No, except that like she was. Wait, Dani, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, so I
remember that she was just like a famous young person.
Yeah. You're the same. Like, it was like, who is this? I don't know like what she does, but I see her face everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was like,
I just started to piece
she
together.
was weirdly, she was a fashion icon, unfortunately. And then you look at the fashion and you're like, what?
Of the times, maybe?
What were the applications
but
like?
Isn't it just because her parents are like famous?
Yes.
But is her mom a famous musician too, or is it just her dad?
It's just her dad, but they actually did do like not Keeping Up with the Osbournes, but
something like that.
They had a show.
Remember that. Well, it's interesting you say that, because I was going to say that the first time I really remember hearing about the Osbournes was when Jackson was imitating Ozzy Osbourne on Hannah Montana.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sharon!
Yeah,
I was like, who's Sharon?
Who the hell
Me
is
too.
Sharon?
And our mom was like, his wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
His wife.
That's the other thing, is that like I was watching this with Isaiah, and he fully went in being like, this is a movie for kids. And just the amount of times like, I can't believe they're saying, I can't believe it. Who's this for? And then like, that's the great thing about the Muppets. They don't care. They have enough of a fan base now. It's just for anyone.
And if you get the joke, then you get it. And if you don't,
and if you don't,
watching.
It all went over my head when I was a kid.
Same.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and it doesn't matter. Also, like, I don't think it's harmful.
No.
I think it's not harmful. But the one I'm thinking of is when the Ashanti was like trying to get an audition.
Yeah.
And they said something like, "This isn't the talent we see on Girls Gone Wild."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
I was like,
I was like, I never knew what that meant.
Oh
Me
my
neither.
God, yeah. There were a lot of moments like that. And was I a bit high? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I just, you kind of need to be high.
Come on. I would love to see the Muppets live. I'd get so high.
Me too.
My God.
Me too.
The thing that's actually disgusting is that there is still, I don't know if they like, it's like the Muppet studio or wherever it is still has Kermit on top with a top hat.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's Henson Studios.
Yeah, it's Henson Studios. And I think they're just like a production office now. And I'm like, it is absolutely criminal that I can't just like go there and like walk around
like
it.
Walter.
Like I think that's something so tough about fandom, is that it never makes sense that there's like not enough money in this world for how much I like something.
Yeah.
Like people love the Muppets so much, and that is why there are so many movies about like there's not enough money, we're gonna go under, but love kept us up. I think it's literally subliminal messaging of being like, and guys, we don't have enough money, and literally, you guys, this is actually a call to action. Actually, do this, and we all just watched it. And we were like, awesome. Like they did the thing
gave them their money
about the like studio exec buying them. They were literally like
maniacal laughter, maniacal laughter.
So fucking funny.
That movie's so funny.
It truly is.
It is.
And Jason Segel is a Muppet
killing
man.
it.
No, yes,
Like,
he was doing a good job.
He's killing it.
His first number, I was like, look at him.
He did such a good job. The music.
I really liked that opening
also,
song.
like I like you, and we can get into this, but like you were mentioning that you love the Muppets and that you love cultural commentary and stuff. I definitely love the Muppets because of the songs. Like I was like, oh, music, like it's actually hypnotic. Like, you can trick me into liking anything with music.
You can, if it's good music, I'll watch the whole thing.
If it's good music, and if it's bad music, I'm
gonna
watch it.
I'm still gonna watch the whole thing.
I'm gonna watch the whole thing.
Grease 2, one of my favorite movies. I'm not even kidding, of all time. Have you seen it?
I have, because it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I won't lie, nothing stuck. Nothing in here.
And it didn't stick for me either.
That's
Amanda's
okay.
obsessed with it.
No, that's okay.
I
I
think it's
watched it
100% okay.
alone one night in high school, and I don't know what it was. Every single thing was just the highest camp for me, and I didn't even know what camp was at the time, but I was like, this is so bad that I'm like euphoric in a way that I'm imagining Molly it. Like, I can't. I cannot. The music is bonkers. There's no other. It's bonkers. But what I mean is that I love it. Music terrible, movie terrible, acting terrible.
Yeah,
and I'm pulled in because of the music.
There's something about it.
But the Muppets had like, this was one of those movies where it's like I watched some songs and I went, oh my god, like I did not know where that was buried.
Yeah,
like, that scratched some itches.
Are you talking about the Muppets?
2011?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Oh my god,
2011. I remember them.
Okay, the witches in the house.
The witches in the house.
That is a good song.
What's her husband saying?
Yeah. Wait, my favorite part is that the husband goes out to sing part of it. He goes, still going? All right. It is literally so funny.
The witch is in the house. I mean, like that classic, like mean, like girl villain
it's
song.
The same thing as the Renee Rapp song.
Which one?
My name is Regina
Georgia. And that I think she actually did that after watching a couple Miss Piggy, the Witches in the House.
Oh,
Miss Piggy should play Regina George.
Miss Piggy should.
I want to see that.
Oh yeah, that's actually way
and
better.
because obviously Katie would be the human. In that movie.
Katie would be the human. I don't want to watch anyone.
It's just a straight
Katie.
man.
Wait, a Muppets Mean Girl remake would be so fun.
A Muppets Mean Girl remake
That
would be
so
actually very
good.
fun.
I love when they've got the narration in A Christmas Carol, because Rizzo and Gonzo are two of my favorites.
Yes.
Their commentary, it's like I'm thinking.
Exactly.
They just said what I thought. Like, that's
Audience
so true.
POV has never been done like it was done there.
That's so true.
I just remember, because I watched it literally this morning when I was working, and I was crying.
Important.
I was crying at work.
Yeah. I cried.
I cried.
Yeah, I cried.
But he was like, Gonzo was like, I'm Charles Dickens, and I was like, who?
Yeah.
We're just gonna go with that.
We're just freaking going with that.
Rizzo said, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
He was
Rizzo
like,
said, "No,
since
you're not."
when? He was like, play along, please.
Literally, it's just like. They are, when they do light the lamp, not the rat, light the lamp, not the rat. Unfortunately, that is just said by my family for any candle light. Like, we're lighting a candle and everyone's like, light the lamp, not the rat.
Oh my god.
We've made merch. We have given each other little things that are just like, light the lamp.
Wait,
not the
that's
rat.
such a good idea, because our family thing, like related to rats, is from Wizard of Oz. When she's like, "What's up with all these rats?" and Rizzo goes, "Rats! We ain't rats. We the Munchkins."
We say it all the time.
Our whole
so
family,
funny.
and sometimes I will hear our mother just walking around like doing chores, and to herself she's going, "Rats! We ain't rats. We the Munchkins." It's so funny. I'm like, oh my god, they are rats though.
No, they literally are, and we know it.
They're rats, and everyone knows. That's why it's so funny.
I know Pepe's a problematic little one, but he's really cute in Wizard of Oz.
He was
so
really funny.
He's really so.
funny.
He was really funny.
When Ashanti
Probably
picks him up out
is
the
the
window.
funniest part
Yeah.
of the movie, unfortunately. It is so funny. He asked Ashanti, he's like, I actually never heard a girl say I love you. And then Ashanti goes, "Aw, Rizzo, I love you." And he goes, "I'm not ready for that." And she goes, "You just asked me to tell you I love you. I like you as a friend, but I think we should just keep being friends." And she's like, "What?" And then they almost die. And that's literally like
him when he was like falling asleep trying to call the rats.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
They literally appeared.
Come on, lunch.
They appeared a second after he
Let's
said
go,
the last
Lunchkin. Come on.
one. We're all at home.
Yeah.
They're like, come on. Immediately.
Immediately.
All of them.
Yeah. The comedy
With the gas masks that are already rat
yes,
masks.
that already rat mask. The comedy
come
of the comedy that like you couldn't do, that you only get to do in animation.
Yeah.
You know, of like insane movements no one can do that's inhuman. Oh, it scratches such a fucking itch.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
The first song in Christmas Carol, I was like, this is Sweeney Todd vibes. And it's
beautiful
giving me
song.
chills.
Yeah, it was.
It's Cockney.
Chills.
It's Cockney.
Oh, I'm here for a
Here
show.
comes Mr.
Yeah, I got chills. And I also cried during that song just because I'm doing this thing right now where I'm crying at any music that I watch in any movie.
Yeah.
Like I watched Mulan and I started crying at Honor to Us All. Like
too early.
it's like what?
Wait till reflection. like an adult.
Now hold your tear ducts.
Now
Hold
those
them
tear
in.
ducts. Hold those. Hold.
So I was like tearing up because I was like, they're so good.
Yeah.
Amanda's like, these professionals who in this hyper competitive
really
industry, like,
moving me.
wow, they actually had some talent.
Wow.
They actually had something there.
This is a
No,
good
I was wrong
movie.
about them.
I was wrong. Amanda's always in a room going, I bet they can't sing. These singers.
Oh my goodness.
No, but Kermit and Miss Piggy can sing.
Sometimes they can't.
Sometimes they can't.
Sometimes.
And sometimes we love that they can't.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. It's like singing in character.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this is their show.
Well, who else would we get? We don't want them to lip sync.
No,
we
we
want to hear
don't.
them.
No. Imagine some voice coming out of Miss Piggy that's not Miss Piggy.
I'd waterboard myself.
To ask like a podcast question.
Yeah, do one of those classic podcast questions.
You loved the Muppets. But were there any other like nerd things that you liked?
Oh yeah. I mean, I like identified as like nerd, or what I knew the word was via Tumblr and Pinterest as a kid. I think mainly because I fell into Doctor Who because I just like had a British friend and he was just like, we
That's
all
a way to
watch
go.
this show, and it's not even nerdy to them. They're
Exactly.
Yeah,
mainstream.
it's like, this is culture.
Yeah, literally. And I started watching it and I was like, oh, this is so good. And then Sherlock came out and I was like, oh my God. And I got into Super Wholock, and that kind of like made my whole feed like cosplay, whatever. And so then I got into like Marvel and whatever. And so for a while, I was literally like, it felt like I was collecting things where I was just trying to become what I felt like Nerd Girl was. It was also like in that hipster moment where like people were making musical like parodies on YouTube that were just like Disney princesses with like the hipster glasses on.
Oh, right.
Like,
I remember those.
you know, yeah.
That
Oh my
one,
God,
that one with the
yeah.
four.
Yeah, that one with the like I just like was a big YouTube nerd culture watcher, and I just wanted to be prepped and armed to become them. And I was that for like all like I wore my TARDIS dress to the midnight premiere.
Whoa.
Oh.
Of the 30th,
It was the
50th
Christmas
anniversary?
Yeah, it was the Christmas special where they had like the first time they had like three. They had John Hunt or John Hurt or
Yeah,
Hurt.
John Hurt.
He's Hurt or he's hunting. That's all I know about him. And David Tennant and Matt Smith.
Yep.
And I
You went to the midnight. Wait, they screened it?
They screened it.
What?
Holy I'm so jealous. I wish I had like.
And I went with the British guy who I think probably a problem was that I like had a huge crush on him, and I think I was just like, what if I become?
Wait, was he
who
into all that
you
stuff?
like? Not even as much as I became, which is kind of the funny thing of like, oh, you like this thing? Let me become the mayor of it.
Yes.
Let me embody it.
Absolutely.
And it's like, oh,
Maybe
okay.
that'll work. And then
Isn't
I
that too much?
overshot the runway.
Right.
Because it's so funny because then you realize, especially in nerd culture when you're younger, you're like, okay, I'm not enough because there's actually an endless amount of things I need to consume to be good enough it feels like to this people, and I know I'm not good enough to the cool kids,
Right.
So I had to like make a choice, and
yes,
I kind of like literally in just one. I think also like consuming so much content, I was just like not in the world, and I remember this like very clear moment of like I did my first musical, and I was just like, wait, this is the new, this is my new nerd life.
I mean, yeah, it's just like it's like the same feeling, but it's like you pivoted to something that you were like personally, like that I could connected to.
Also, that's just genuinely more active. Like I think like being a passive consumer of things, and like you're a child, so like the most active it feels like I could have gotten is like being on the message boards, you know, and like on Tumblr and like making posts or whatever. But musical theater, I was like, well, hold on a minute. Let me make some of that.
Yeah.
Not that I was like making musicals. I was frankly just consuming and then spitting it right back out at you.
I mean, I think this is like telling for how like whatever you're obsessed with like leads into what you're passionate about, because you have to like do something with what you're consuming. It's like you're consuming the musicals, but you also want to be in the musicals.
Exactly.
And it's like I for me, I was like consuming like movies, and I wanted to like make the movies, and so I like, went to like film camp and like had to go make the movies. But it's like, what in this, if you like love music, it's like you probably want to go make music, and then it becomes active to you. But it's like I'm listening to music when I'm like dead ass not even doing anything, you know, like sitting down in my car. Maybe that's why I never got into like band fandom that heavily.
Y'all are really answering the question, how does being a fangirl central to your identity?
I'm like, I think I struggle sometimes when someone loves something and they don't want to do it. Like there's really a disconnect for me.
Me too.
Like I get the conversation of don't turn your hobby into your money passion, like that, because that throws capitalism in it, and I get why that ruins some stuff.
Right.
But when people are like, oh, I love this show, this thing, and it doesn't like make you want to make the same thing, or like take that feeling and be like, I need to make somebody else feel this feeling. Like I don't know if it's just like maybe it becomes type A or whatever, but
I think it's a different experience, because I know that there are definitely people. Now I don't know, because I'm not these people. I don't know any of them. But there are people that don't want to work in the industry, like don't want to make art, don't want to be an artist, might want to be like, I don't know, like a scientist or like an accountant or whatever, but they're like super obsessed with something. And then that is their hobby. I find that maybe those people are more active in the IRL fandom spaces, because it makes them go to Comic-Con, it makes them go to or like
their escape.
It's their escape, and so it's like something that they can dedicate unparalleled amounts to, because it carries no stress for them at all. Because there is a little bit of stress for me, like
for sure,
keeping up with the movies. Like I feel stress.
I'm out of the loop.
Oh, hey, mama, I'm behind,
so
and I'm never gonna get back in front. I'm never gonna get back.
I'm like, but it's a good, but it's a good balance. I have to balance it. Because it's like, remember. You enjoy watching movies. And remember, you want to make them.
Yes.
Like I watched Past Lives last night and sobbed, and I was like, oh, this is why you watch movies.
But like,
I just used to like know everything that was going on. Like pop culture wise, and now I'm so out of the loop that I'm kind of like, I do want to find a happy medium, because I can't really contribute to conversations the way I used to.
You miss it. It's clung to you.
I'm out of it.
I feel like that's the only thing I'm now realizing the example of is like managers in a lot of ways. Like there are some comedy nerds who are like, I don't want to do that. But they love all the stuff, and they like want to be near it and whatever. But like, isn't it so invalidating? Like you two are comedians as well. Like when you want to do comedy, but you have like a friend who's like the funniest person you've ever met, but like they don't want to do comedy. Like they work as a like coder, and you're like, what the? Wait, why am I?
Yes, I have thought of like 3 people off the top of my head.
Same.
But that's why I'm friends with them. I'm like, you're so fun. Like, you don't even give a fuck. And they don't give a fuck about being funny.
But those are the people that are written about. Like, those are the people that people make characters for or about. So they're the material.
Thank God.
They are the material.
They are the material.
They are the material. The blueprint.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
You know what I just realized?
Can you tell me?
We never introduced ourselves or Danny.
Oh.
That's real.
We hopped on in.
Y'all,
because we're talking about the Muppets.
I literally like made a note. I was like, okay, and then we're going to introduce ourselves like 2
Me too.
minutes in.
And then I was like, wait.
Hey, y'all. If you made it this far in, this is Fangirl Central. I'm Amanda.
I'm Amber.
We are sisters, and being a fangirl is central to our identity. Today, we have Danika Lyle.
Yes, Danika Lyle.
She's a comedian. She loves the Muppets.
That's true.
She writer, producer, actor.
That's true.
Singer. She has a nice baritone.
Yeah, but you're not gonna learn anything about that today.
Wow, I wish we could.
I'm gonna tease you.
Wow.
That was actually it.
That was beautiful.
So
what a nice sample.
You're welcome.
You'll see her name on the title, so
That's
you'll
true.
know who's here.
Yeah, you'll know who's here. You
But
know
you
we're
also-
discussing.
We got right into it. I wanted to say that I used to think, because there's a bunch of memes about the Muppets, and it's like, oh, like we love when it's like one human and a bunch of Muppets. But then I started Christmas Carol, and I was like, it's actually a mix. It's more like BoJack Horseman.
It's a mix. It's
like
way more.
Yeah.
It's actually very BoJack coded.
It's like they're equal. Humans and Muppets are equal.
Yeah.
It actually
they
is-
just live in the same universe.
No, it is nice to see a couple more humans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
You kind of need that.
It grounds the world.
If it's got to be all Muppets, all humans, or a healthy dose.
I'm confused
Of both.
about. Okay, I have a question about
you ask
Muppets
it?
2011.
Yeah.
Walter, is he adopted?
We're not supposed to ever know. And actually, you can't ask that. Like,
Okay.
I would be worried
Okay.
about who's coming after you now that you've said that out loud.
Oh no.
Like, you can't ask that.
You don't even know if Walter knows. Like,
Yeah, Walter doesn't even know where
Okay,
he came from.
just because when he was with them, they were like, "Here's Walter. He's part of the family or something."
Yeah.
They
They
don't know.
brought him in. They clearly, all the Muppets, it's not like one of them like bore him, but they definitely all saw him and they were like, oh,
He's one of us.
The beginning, the first scene is very heavy. Like Walter found his representation with the Muppets.
Yeah.
yeah. Is it
And
like,
so I'm like,
is it like X-Men mutants coded? Like
Yeah.
where they think they're all the X-Men, but they're like, oh, there's other ones of us out there.
yeah.
What if in their minds, I think in the Muppets' minds, they don't look that different from us. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they're like, it's like that, it's like in romantasy, like a fairy or the fae, like, or the whatever, like, you know, they're like, okay, maybe I just butchered that. I actually don't know if those things are that different, but I just started The Court of Thorns and Roses.
What's that on?
Is that a book?
It's a book.
Oh.
What?
It's a book.
Oh my God,
I
Danika's
unfortunately
reading.
have to go from Silver Lake to Santa Monica every morning, and so I have like at least 2 hours in the car. So
You've been listening to audiobooks?
Books, yeah.
I listened to the first 4 Percy Jacksons via audiobook.
Wait, would
Literally,
you
yum.
recommend? What is it called?
I just started it.
Romantasy.
Romantasy is the genre, and
Romantasy.
I think that I listen to a lot of good books that are like smart, and then after I do that, I reward myself with a sexy romance fantasy book,
That's good balance.
and that's a good balance, and I kind of
That's really
recommend it to
nice.
everyone.
You know what? I read a lot of fan fiction, so
It's that.
And that's your fix.
yeah. So I'll look into that.
I think you need to. I'm kind of mad you're not doing it right now.
I know. I need a new book because I'm on the 5th Percy Jackson, but I just got in a lull. Not that it's a bad book.
And not that it's a bad book.
It's a great
but you're
finale.
in a lull, and
I'm
you
just-
deserve to get out.
Right. And I'll
Now-
come back to it when I'm ready.
Okay, I feel like such random circle back, but
Okay,
I
do
just
it then.
thought you said that you were into nerd stuff because
Yeah.
of like this British boy, not directly because of him, but like a lot of because
Yeah.
of him.
Mhm.
I feel like that's like just every teenage girl's
Right.
like wanting to
Unfortunately,
impress
yeah.
every teenage boy, and so
Yes.
like just generally,
Whether we
like
know
if you
them
know about
personally or not.
Star Wars or Marvel or whatever,
Yeah.
like video games, it's like oh, like you can be one of the boys,
Mhm.
Oh my god, yeah.
but how did that play into like your YouTube?
Yeah.
Like, were those guys like kind of the same type of like, oh, if I like was friends with, I would want to be friends with them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So what Amanda is referencing is the fact that I was like such a big YouTube like obsessor. Like I just was like I watched all of the BuzzFeed like lore of like that whole world, and I watched all the College Humor things, and like that whole trend during like 2015 where everyone was just throwing their creative friend groups online, not the hype houses. That is different.
That's
it's
very
different.
different.
I don't know them, but
I don't know
That
if
was
the,
also
like,
a little bit later, wasn't it?
yeah,
That
those
wasn't
guys were
really like
later.
creative friend groups. That was just like
and those weren't
shenanigans.
exactly. And so
Right.
I think that I definitely watched those as like an aspirational, like I want to be friends. I think we've talked about this before of like maybe like sometimes I don't know if the reason I like want to do entertainment and want to succeed and go farther is because like I necessarily want to see myself like reach these heights and get these validations, but I want to feel like I have the ability to meet as many friends as possible that I feel like are outside of my, like Zendaya has no idea how good of friends we would be. She has no idea how much she, me, and Tom would crack it up. But
this is so real.
But obviously, if I go to her right now and I'm like, actually, we'd be best, she'd be like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
But like after I write and am in maybe her favorite little indie movie, and she goes, wait, I loved that. I say something so funny at the table, and then we're like, wait, should we? Just like sit in because I know we don't like going out. We just like want to chill inside. And then we become besties. But like you can't just do that. And I think that is like the effed up thing in the head for me where it like when I was watching YouTube as a kid, I was just like, damn, I want to be friends with all these BuzzFeed people, all of these whatevers. And I can't just do that randomly because they'll think I'm a crazy fan. So I will out of like spite, go become successful so that then they're like, wait, that girl's cool. And I'm like, yeah, do you want to be my friend or something? And I told you guys this, but I did like this short with a friend, and it turned out that the director was this guy who I was totally obsessed with in BuzzFeed when I was younger. And I like played it off so cool. I was like, your name's Chris?
She's a professional fangirl.
I guess, like, nice to meet you and stuff. And then I guess we followed each other online. Anyway, Chris, if you're watching this, so glad we're besties now. But yeah, I know your body of work. What a talent you are.
No, that's literally the foundation of a lot of creatives. It's like, well, I want the person I'm obsessed with to think I'm funny and to think I'm talented. Yeah. And I know that they would. And that's healthy delusion.
No, we literally, I can tell this story because it's like public, not like the details, but like this, whatever. I'm going to cut this.
Wait, can you just cut it?
Yeah.
Wait, tell it.
I'm going to say
tell us.
How would I just say it?
Okay. Go.
Sorry, guys. I'm high.
Thank God.
Jealous.
No, I have it.
It's something so bad you want to cut.
No, I have it. Oh. So there's this YouTuber named Leah Hizkiaz who is a black girl YouTuber from Tennessee who is just a few years younger than me and Amber.
Whoa.
And
she's 1 year younger than us.
We are not twins.
I'm pointing to me and Dani. Girl, I'm so sorry. Dani is my sister.
Yeah, we are sisters. I do think you forgot that we're twins. That we're twins.
We were born and raised in Northern California.
Yeah, Northern California. That was so funny.
We like watched her vlogs while we were all in high school. Yeah. And we would always watch her vlogs and be like, and she was like obsessed with One Direction and like obsessed with all the same stuff as us and like went to a predominantly white high school. Like we were like the same people. Yeah. And we were always like, we would be friends with her. Like we have so much in common.
Yeah.
And then like she moved to LA, went to college in LA. We are in California. We made a One Direction short and just like asked her to, because it's set in Nashville. She's from Nashville.
She went to that same show.
And she went to the same Take Me Home tour show. And we were like, do you want to be in this short and like just make a cameo? Because we were really big fans of yours. Yeah. And then she was like, sure. Oh and then she flew to Nashville. She was like, I'll just plan wherever I'm going to go home on the weekend that you're all shooting it. Comes, wears her original One Direction Take Me Home
that she
tour
made.
With the date that she made. We told her to wear a white tank top and she came with that.
And she was like, no, I know.
And
she was a true
it's
fan.
like proof. It's like, okay, yeah. And I was right.
Yeah. No, and you know what's funny? In these moments since we've talked about it, I'm like, this is also the definition of narcissism is literally, but it's not, but it's like, it's so funny because it's like not the definition of narcissism to like want like creative and collaborative friends, but I think it's like this weird, like, because I'm telling you right now, if you are not actually a good person, I don't actually want.
Right.
I
No,
don't care.
get away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
it's just, you have to see for yourself.
You have to see for yourself, and I guess I just don't. I crave a frolicking time with all of my favorite minds at one tea party.
Same.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like prove to yourself that you have good taste too.
Yeah.
Like you have good taste. They have good taste.
Yeah, literally when they tell you they like your thing, and then you go, I guess I was right.
I mean, I feel like
it's believing in yourself.
I feel like it's just a step. It's just it's like a fangirl step ahead of like, and to break the visual that fangirl means crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I just really love your art.
Yes.
And like, because of what I see in your art, like I feel like we would get along. If we don't, totally fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
But if we do, like, I would love to make art with you too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's
collab.
so normal to want the admiration of your peers.
Yeah.
And like people that you really respect. I feel like they're like, when you made it, blah, 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 blah. And like, it's not so much pretentious when like Zac Efron is like, yeah, I'm really appreciative of High School Musical, but like honestly, like that didn't mean as much to me as when like Seth Rogen like wanted me to be in his movie, you know, like because it's the admiration of my peer. Like I love Seth Rogen, and when he saw me and thought that I was funny enough to be in his movie, like that was more important to me than like, or like Matthew Perry wanting him to be in 17 again, more important than like, oh, like I mean, yes, High School Musical, yes, and kids love me, but like Seth Rogen,
my idols love me too. But it's also interesting because you can say this for any other industry and it would sound less like narcissistic because say you're like really obsessed with tennis and Serena Williams like recognizes you at your court because you made it there, or like you're a scientist and you're working at the lab that you wanted to,
at the lab,
and the big scientist.
I love you went from it's tennis, it's Serena Williams, it's science, it's the big
lab.
and the big white coat man.
You got the
there.
tubes and things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the
If
smartest
Serena,
one
like,
thinks
if
you're
Serena
smart.
Williams compliments your playing, like
Right.
that would mean a lot.
Yeah.
I also do think though, it's not just the art though. It is also the hang. It is also the hang. I do think that
it's compatibility.
They inform each other.
They inform each other.
Yeah.
It is also the hang. And I love starting I-ums. And
I-ums, the food for pets.
I-ums, the food for pets. We should probably do our commercial break for I-ums really quick.
Sponsor us.
I was just going to say that I think it's really interesting that like we were talking before about the beginning of like getting into fandom sometimes being, especially when it comes to like nerd fandom, the way we traditionally know it, being related to male dominated, you know, spaces, and like sometimes entering in that, like especially like I can just admit that like when I was a kid, I think I felt very wanting to be accepted by the funny guys in my grade when I was like in 6th grade, not like high school, but like really young, and I really wanted them to see me as funny and like all these things. And it's so funny how it goes from like that's your entry point for so many people, and then it literally like you get older and it's so the flip flop of it, like it's so gay, and like queer and gender fluid, but also like very 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 female and very like feminine, and like now that's my whole experience of like fandom culture, and it's just very interesting because sometimes I feel bad that was like my introduction to it, but it honestly revolutionizes you to be like even angrier.
Because it's like, who was I trying to impress and why? Y'all don't even have taste.
No, you don't even.
And also like it's like now I know more than you, and you made me do this. It's like
you made me.
Don't act like I don't know what I'm talking about.
You got me here.
And also I completely agree. When I got onto Tumblr was when I like, because almost everyone on Tumblr is like the girls and the gays on the fandom side. Yeah. And so when I was like interacting with fandom on Tumblr, I was like, it was like almost like a completely different world of fandom in the real world. Fandom in the real world is so boy heavy, like nerdom. I should say nerd culture instead of like fandom in general because there's so many. But like it's Comic-Con, it's like boys everywhere, like video games, boys everywhere. Like that's who was going to the Marvel movies and that's who you were trying to impress. And like Star Wars, it's like guys and girls like that stuff too. But it's like we didn't talk about it until like the 2010s while we were like coming of age. So I was like, and it was like all these girls and gays who actually secretly loved all that stuff. And then we were talking to each other and then it was like, wait a minute. There's more of us than them.
You know what I was just thinking of when you were saying that? I don't think I ever picture a straight guy posting to Tumblr when I'm reading a post.
No.
And I don't think I've heard a straight guy talk about Tumblr.
No.
Now, if y'all are out there and happen to be listening to this,
cis straight
guys, That's what I mean. Because I've never really pictured myself relating to anything they've posted.
I never ever picture a cis man who isn't gay
I never picture a
on
cis man.
Tumblr. I'm literally like,
Full stop.
never in my life. Like the first trans people I met were on Tumblr, low key, like high key, like
even Marvel. Like I don't think I ever conversed with a cis straight man on Tumblr about Marvel.
I remember
or anything.
like this one time I like had followed an account for like so long. Like they would have full conversations on the dashboard and stuff. And one day said that their name was Josh. And I went and I clicked on their me tag. And this was like before people put pronouns in their bios. And it was a cis guy.
Whoa. That's so interesting.
And I had to change I took a day. I was like, Josh is who I've been following. Well,
it's been Josh the whole time.
But then it's also like who's trans? Who's trans and they don't know, and like who's gay and they don't know. Like it's like the pictures were giving like prep Josh.
I will just tell you right now, in the Pinterest nerd forum,
tell us
there was not a male to be a straight male, a straight cis male to be
what
seen.
was the Pinterest?
Yeah, what was that like? What was
Disorganized.
Pinterest fandom? Because
Pinterest fandom is Pinterest fandom is to Tumblr as Instagram Reels are to TikTok. We get it.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, we get it a month late, but there's people there, and they're there because they're already on the app for another reason, and then they found out they could do the other thing.
Yes.
It literally could not be more similar.
That's right.
And I was...
Whoa.
After a while, I realized I had to get on Tumblr. The same way millennials realize they have to get on TikTok. But I really, for as long as I could, was just like pinning Super Hulock. And
my God. I can't even picture fandom on Pinterest because I tried to use it so many times.
Yeah.
Me too.
Just for aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like early high school, middle school. Yeah. And I never understood it.
Well, it never
like
hit
I
with
couldn't
my
get
brain.
it. But I was so disorganized that it wouldn't work for me.
I wish I could help you. No, it's supposed to be like, I think for my ADHD brain, it is like addicting because it is just like inspiration. Like I never go back. I do never go back. I will not look at my pins for like months. But like it in the moment is just so great to get a break from looking at people that you know and like their lives and just go, things, la 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 la, woo ah yee ah. Things make me laugh. These are funny. This is cool.
I can see how that's like stimulating in like a really good way.
And also, Tumblr changed their dashboard later to look like Pinterest. Do y'all remember this? I think it's still the format now, but
like where it's just like a bunch of different.
Yeah, or you can make it that.
You can make
format.
it look like
you
that.
can make it cute.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. I don't like it.
I liked it for a bit, and I liked it. But only when I was reading Imagines.
Whoa. So it's like you were like pulling.
I was like, which
out of
one
the cloud
is one I want to read? And sometimes I would only read a blurb and be like, this is not good.
You're like Tony Stark.
Okay. Yeah.
Could you imagine reading Imagines on Tony Stark's machine?
Yeah.
That's what I would use it for.
Oh.
Literally, that is the Imagine. Write it.
Yes.
You like pull it out. You're like, all right, make it a holograph. You can watch it.
Holograph.
I would never, you would never see me. You would never see me.
Literally.
Again.
Please make a sci-fi movie.
Come on, Manda.
About like a fanfic writer puts it all together, like makes the simulation, a fanfic simulation. I know I told you to do it, but we'll do it together.
Let's do it.
We're also doing it.
Let's all be in it.
I'll be at the writer's room.
Please don't take it.
No,
okay?
I won't take it. Oh, no.
It's actually copywritten.
I was looking at them.
We copywrote it.
Me and Amanda just submitted it to the WGA,
and we got it confirmed.
And we got the copyright too.
So you'll get
fanfic
sued.
writer sci-fi.
Yeah, you will be sued. And thank you.
Wait, I have to remember.
No, write it down for real.
Yeah, literally. Oh my God, the Jarvis of it.
That's
they
genius.
Fall in love. What the hell? I don't know.
And then
You
they
guys
fall
don't
in
know.
love with Jarvis.
Yeah, maybe.
We write it as Tony Stark Jarvis fanfiction.
It's kind of like
that's good.
It's a little bit of a crossover of Tony Stark and Her.
Yeah.
Her is one of my favorite movies of all time. I fucking love that movie.
It's a watch.
In love.
the most non-opinion ever.
Yeah, it's a watch.
Wait, have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it like 3 times because I mean I guess I do like it more than I
about your goddamn sister, do you?
Wait, right?
I didn't know that you'd seen it even. Like,
I've never seen it with
once.
you. I've never seen it with anybody.
What made you watch it?
I saw it in theaters.
And then why'd you watch it again?
Because I liked how
This is
pretty
so funny.
the world was. Like I liked
Why'd you watch it the third time?
and then I was on a plane.
We just have never. I'm baffled because this is one of my favorite movies. Like top.
Amanda, I want to say, you've said you liked her, and I've told you I've watched it.
I literally don't remember this.
The reason I won't watch it with other people is because I do think him having sex with her is uncomfortable to watch with people.
Oh, I've never watched it with people. Okay. Baby do.
Y'all, the earrings are coming out.
Thank God.
Going back to what you were talking about like being friends with the people that you like admire, it's like, yeah, if you're friends with people that are like that really like are creative and like challenge you as an artist, but also challenge you as a person and like are really enriching friends.
Yeah.
It makes you make better art. I mean, as soon as I started collaborating with Amber, I felt more creative.
It's just the dream life.
Yes, I was about to say it's very nice that the three of us in our 20s can be friends with creatives that we would have found on YouTube if we were 15.
It's the same. Like we all, like all our friends, like the people that are like, or the creatives our age and our like group right now are not famous, but I cannot get over the feeling of like watching somebody who I know personally. Maybe I don't know them yet, or like maybe I know them and then I watch them perform, or then I watch them perform and when we have mutuals, and then I like introduce myself after. But it's like, how am I in this small ass audience and that person's so talented right now, and I get the pleasure of like being here and like
and being here.
Yes, it's really inspirational.
And like I can't like some of the most talented people I know are people I know personally, and that's like really exciting. As a creative.
And I think something that's like very interesting and new is that like when you're at home and you don't live in Los Angeles, which is like mythically the place where all the art is, or whatever, when you're younger, and you're just like, oh, what a dream. And I think that's why I liked the YouTube world of like, you're literally all day with all these people probably, and you like think of all these great ideas and you get to do that all day. And then you move here, and I think we're already living, and anyone who has like creative community gets to already live that ideal. And then and then we're all just like, when we finally get enough money to do this and not be stressed, and maybe enough like support to feel like there is like enough stuff under us to do this forever, it's perfect. But what's interesting is like, I feel like I've also just in the last week had this moment where I've been like, oh, what I think is like the ideal, which I feel sometimes like 10 years away from, which is like you have an overall deal, you like, it's just like security, you know? Like that is so actually the why of what you want is so actually less different than what you have at this exact moment. And it's almost even hard to keep myself motivated sometimes, because I'm like, wow, I've done it, lucky to have my friends and to be able to watch the things that inspire me like more so than that I could even have time to finish all
close up.
It's literally like, just give me security, just tell me that these jobs are gonna last, and yum.
I had the realization like also like maybe not even this week but like this year that like everybody's like, oh, your big break is like Io winning like every award this week is like her big break, but like no, her big break was when she could financially sustain herself on her art, and that was like, she's been doing this for a while, you know, and it's like you get once you get there, you're like, if you're not motivated by like fame and ego, then it's like you're living the life. You're living it. Like,
I mean, we have to think about like what we wanted. Like, I always think about this on my darkest days. I'm like, but if myself when I was 15 in Memphis, Tennessee could see what I'm doing literally right now, like I'm in LA, I have a podcast where I can freely talk about One Direction whenever I want, and everyone just has to sit here and listen to it. Like, I am living my dream. Like, I can dream for something else in 10 years, but like currently I am living my 15-year-old's dream. And that's success to me.
I have a boss that I really admire, and one of the things that they said before was like, yes, the dream would be that you know you're successful enough that the business will like survive forever, but like the best thing is really just knowing that like we can keep this community and we can keep innovating and feel like we can fail and be with each other. And like that is almost more important than being the best or being the whatever. But it's like hard because you can't say that in a pitch meeting as much. Like people don't want to hear that. But really, like at a cultural level of like that we all have to live. Like, we can only know our own cultures that we're like around. Like, we just want to feel safe and creative,
make me cry.
like, whatever. Unfortunately, that's how I feel when I talk about my boss. I'm like literally like so safe,
That's
and I'm like
so. Oh
beautiful.
my goodness. Okay, that reminds me. To bring it back to the Muppets, there was a line with Fozzie Bear as the lion because he wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah.
And there was some line in a song where it was like, your friends will listen to your jokes for you.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of like last Tuesday when you came over and were like, let me run this by you guys. And I was like, I literally was like, I bet this is why Dani loves the Muppets so much. Because,
oh my God.
Or I bet this line made her resonated
No.
with her.
Oh yeah, like Fozzie is so funny because it's like all the things that you. Because when Fozzie's funny, but most of the time Fozzie is, unfortunately, the whole thing is that he's not that funny. And like Fozzie is so relatable because it's just like trying so hard to be like loved and liked and just like make everyone happy, but it doesn't. But he actually makes everybody happy because he's just there.
Yeah.
And they just love him.
Meow.
No, literally, I love
him.
Oh,
I love that.
The Muppets is cute, and also our community is our own Muppets.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
they're
they're like
theater.
the ideal.
And I want to say that if we could all just pitch in and like have an office, we could all have our tiny little cubicles.
Oh, that is actually really cute.
Could you imagine?
That is actually really cute. Again, shouting out to Freak Nature Puppets. Like, they are a collective. And so they all pay like dues or whatever, or they like at this point do enough shows, maybe their shows pay for it or whatever. But they like have a small art studio.
Yeah,
and like that's where they can all go and make all their puppets and hang out and whatever.
hub.
Anyway, I look up to you guys, and now a bunch of them just moved in together in a house. Wait, is that like private information?
It's reminding me.
But it's really cute.
It's reminding
No,
me
we
of
don't have
cool
to-
tree
you don't know where they are.
houses. Those shows with cool tree houses where they all just meet up.
I found out that the apartment complex.
Recess.
Yeah.
There's a tree. No.
There's a
Yeah.
treehouse in the movie. They all go to TJ's like treehouse.
Oh, I need to see that movie.
Wait, what movie?
Recess.
There's a Recess movie.
Didn't it come from a movie?
It's so good.
Or was that the finale?
I don't know if the movie might have been the finale.
Okay.
In the comments, tell us if the Recess movie was the
Please,
finale or
because
not.
Jimmy Neutron was the premiere.
Y'all,
Yeah.
yes, collective community. It's like great. I feel like we've touched on so many different things
Me
Yeah.
too.
on this episode. And
I didn't
like,
even know the time was flying like that.
Me neither. You're so easy to talk to.
Wait,
Dani.
that's really nice of you guys to say.
Oh.
No,
you guys
yeah.
are my friends.
It just like we just got right into it.
Yeah,
we did.
we forgot to introduce you.
Unfortunately, I knew. I was like, oh gosh, I accidentally. You asked about tattoo, and I was like, well,
We have to
freaking
get into
know
it.
that the tattoo I want is a Muppet tattoo, and I always have known that.
You
What a
always
natural
know.
opening.
What a natural. Because I was gonna be like, should I have said fandom related to get us back on track? And then you got us there.
But you know what? That's how you know that Muppets is like one of your top fandoms
Yeah.
because we didn't even have to try to get into that topic.
No.
It just
No.
came from
No.
conversation.
It comes from the heart.
It comes from the heart.
And it is like everything. It relates to everything.
It surrounds
that you.
you.
Wanna do,
Yeah.
You know?
Me and my friends, we all, you know that thing where like people will tell you like what kind of like either animal you resemble a little bit or like whatever. Like some friends are like birds and some friends are turtles. But also like some friends are objects. Like I have a friend who is absolutely like a gummy bear and then, you know, whatever. And somebody called me a gummy bear as well, but also a Muppet. And then I was just like, yeah, like that's how I feel sometimes. I just very much feel like,
I am a Muppet.
I mean,
I don't know.
that's beautiful. We can all be Muppets together.
oh wait,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Muppets.
And
with
Amen.
that,
and with that,
Dani, do you have anything you want to plug?
hey everybody, I'm Dani and I do honestly comedy sketches on freaking Instagram and TikTok.
hey.
Search Danika freaking Lyle. Please like my posts.
She's
No.
hilarious.
She's
Follow
hilarious.
I'm funny.
Follow her.
She's hilarious. Well, we have had such a great.
We've had a blast here.
Time.
It's been a beautiful
This has
Wednesday
been
evening.
great. I loved this episode.
Yeah, I had a
I
great
love
time.
your sweater. She's wearing a Kermit sweater.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh, maybe
kind of if you don't even
do a
know.
little model.
To all the audio listeners, you can't see, but I'm wearing a Kermit sweater. And
Yes.
I was Kermit, and my girlfriend was Miss Piggy
That's so cute.
for
That's a dream.
Halloween.
Well, you can follow us at fangirl.central everywhere. Follow us on Patreon for extra vlogs and, you know, whatever else you want to think about.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a Discord that you can only access through a Patreon, so come and talk to us.
Yes.
And my name's Amanda.
I'm Amber.
And as always,
Keep it chaotic. And here comes the music.
Credits.